Hello, everyone. First and foremost, I want to welcome our social media audience to all the excitement of CloudWorld 2023. And hey, no matter what platform you're tuning in from, make sure you give us a comment. Tell us where you're tuning in from. Give us a shout out for a chance to be featured on Oracle TV over the next 2 days. And now I'm here with Berchan Kaplanaloo, the Vice President of Innovation for Oracle Industries. You know, Berchan, you are going to be putting people in the hot seat later today, but I felt like I needed to put you in the hot seat first. How do you feel about that?
I'm excited.
You're excited?
Yes.
Oh, well, we'll see about that at the end of this interview. Now, Berchan, you are also our Oracle TV industry correspondent and the host of our Industry Innovations series that's been running for a couple months now. So can you tell us a bit about the series?
Absolutely. So we started this series back in April, and we had 4 or 5 episodes so far. We focus on industry use cases. Oracle has been innovating in the industry space for a while. We decided to actually give a sneak preview to the audiences so they can actually see what we're doing.
So tell us more about these Oracle Industry Labs. What were the facilities originally built for? I know they weren't originally built for the Oracle TV Industry Innovation Series. They have more purpose than that.
Absolutely. So we wanted to co-innovate with customers and partners, so we actually built simulated spaces to actually do that. Now, audience might think, well, it's an innovation lab, so it's probably an office space where we can get some ideas and talk about it and maybe do them. Well, this one's actually simulated environment. So we have an environment that represents a factory. We have an environment that represents construction site, utilities. We have use cases in public safety. So we're actually physically doing them. That's the biggest differentiator.
Well, let's actually dive into that. So in what cities are all of these labs located, and then what industries do they each focus on?
Absolutely. So we have one in Chicago in US, one in Reading in UK, and one in Sydney, Australia. And we focus on construction engineering, energy and water, utility space, manufacturing, public safety, hospitality, and food and beverage, and restaurants. So in a variety of industries, we created these environments to actually test technologies.
Yeah, so again, let's take that deeper. So what are we actually doing at these labs?
Well, I joined Oracle 6 years ago, and in industry space, where I was in one of them, it's really hard to innovate and stop your operations and try these things in your day-to-day operations.
Right.
So the idea here is if we actually simulate that environment, we can physically do them and solve the problems. Let me give you a quick example. Like if you want to get a sensor and embed into concrete and link it to schedule, well, we could do it. So we work with partners, figure out which sensors make the most sense, figure out integration with Oracle products, and we actually pour concrete to see how that works. Then that becomes a commercially available product that our customers can use.
Wow. Incredible. One of the themes we're talking about here at CloudWorld, and we actually just heard in Safra's keynote, is all about helping our customers overcome their biggest challenges right now. So how are these innovation labs helping in doing that?
Well, every industry has their own challenges, unique, but there's also cross-industry challenges. So we focus on productivity, we focus on sustainability, and we focus on safety. So those three teams are all across and have the ability to actually trial them, test them, do them, and bring solutions is really helping them. We are leveraging the power of cloud, AI, 5G, connectivity, sensors, IoT. I mean, these are all technologies, but we start with the business first. So that's probably the most important one. At the lab, technology is here to solve the problem. We start with the problem first.
Yeah, that's great. That's exactly what we always talk about, right? We're starting at the heart of the problem, what our customers are asking us for, and that's where this technology comes from. Okay, so then tell me, how does the Industry Innovation Series depict all of this? How are we helping our audience take a dive into the industry labs?
So the series is we have, I call an action shot. Initially, we actually show the technology working live so people can experience it. Then we explain in detail how the technology works. We bring experts in and they go deeper dive into how is this applicable to day-to-day operations. So these are 30 to 40 minutes all live, and it's really giving a sneak preview of what is to come and what is currently available.
So what have we covered thus far? Like I said, we've been running this now for a few months. Can you just give us a hint of what we've covered thus far?
So we covered energy and water. Actually, we focused on energy use cases. We did one in public safety, and then we did construction, and we also introduced the lab. That was one series. So we actually have 4 episodes so far, And the last one, actually, we had over 14,000 people watching live. So we're pretty excited about it. We're very happy to get this level of engagement. And we're going to continue the series.
Yeah, tell us how people can tune in.
Well, if they go to oracle.com/connect, they'll be able to get the other episodes. We also have a playlist on YouTube that they can go and actually check it out.
Well, I am certainly excited for all of the episodes to come. They've already been amazing. I know there's so much more to come. So thank you, Burchin, for sharing all the insight into that.
Thank you.
And now we are going to pass it over to our Executive Vice President of Oracle Global Industries, Mike Sicilia.
That's a great segue as we look to get an even deeper perspective on some of the trends that are common across industries right now. Mike, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, well, we're going to start easy on you. Can you tell us a little about who you are, what you do, and the global industry units you run?
Sure. Yeah, I'm responsible for our industries, which provide deep operating technology to our customers. So unlike our competitors who are in the horizontal application space or the infrastructure space, we're of course in both of those spaces as well. We also provide operating technology, core operating technology by industry for our customers. So for example, point of sale systems, merchandising systems for retailers, network infrastructure systems for communications providers, the things that make your phone calls and text messages work, electronic health records for medical providers, and so on. And we do that across about 10 industries today, and actually growing the number each year.
You know, we had a correspondent just kind of walking around and talking to some people on the floor, and there was actually a customer from the Church of Latter-day Saints. So maybe that can be added as another industry.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Church of Latter-day Saints is actually one of the largest one of the largest real estate holders in the world.
Okay.
And as such, our facilities management solutions are, I think, a good lead. So thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. All right.
Well, and speaking of industries and the vast industries that we cover, listening to earnings last week, there was a marked focus on industries we weren't really even talking about just last year when you joined us on Oracle TV last year. Is this a change in focus or emphasis for the company?
I don't know if about a change, I think a re-emphasis. So I think the industries have been a hidden secret at Oracle, if you will, or a strategic lever for many, many years. We've been in the vertical industry businesses for over 15 years now at Oracle. And I think what's changed and what's happened is because of the advances that we've made internally with OCI, we now have the unique opportunity to package our industry applications, our horizontal applications, our core infrastructure in a variety of delivery mechanisms, sovereign delivery mechanisms, dedicated or in public cloud, and actually offer that as a complete bundle and a complete service. So ironically, the very same benefits that our customers get from the cloud have created an internal benefit for Oracle to be able to bundle these services to deliver all of them as a cloud service. You know, in the on-premises days, even when we were in the industry business in the on-premises days, there was integration, of course, between ERP and, say, our retail merchandising system, of course, but that was delivered at the last mile. That was delivered beyond the edge in the customer's premise, typically by system integrators or partners or something like that. Now, we can deliver that whole thing as a cloud service. So I think what you're seeing is a shift from just focusing on technical delivery and talking about business outcomes. And when you talk about business outcomes, you almost always have to do that in the vernacular of the customer, which is an industry vernacular.
So, okay, so when we're talking about outcomes, first we got to this is kind of what we do in marketing, right? When we're looking at outcomes, well, what are the 10 steps behind that? And it's kind of what Safra just talked about, which is helping our customers overcome their top challenges right now. We're going to dive into industry by industry challenges here right after we get done talking with you. But on a macroeconomic scale and across industries, what are some of the common challenges that we're seeing and solving for?
Yeah, well, I think across industries, labor shortages are top of mind. Our hospitality customers, in fact, many of them right here on the Las Vegas Strip, are struggling with labor shortages. Our healthcare systems are way short on the number of nurses, radiologists, pharmacists, and things that are needed. So, I think that one really cuts across industries in general. So, the obvious answer to that as well what we need to do, since we don't appear to be able to solve with more people, we need to be able to make the people that are working and are here more efficient, and we need to increase their velocity. And I think you'll see, as you dive in industry by industry, I predict that that's a theme that you'll see, and you'll see solutions for those themes as we go forward.
Why do you think Oracle is uniquely positioned to help solve this?
Yeah, well, because we actually are providing the industry applications. So if you think about what our competitors do in the space, they'll provide either the compute and storage, the rented computers, so-called infrastructure, or they'll provide some horizontal applications. But
it's an or, not an and.
It's an or, and it's really up to the customer to still stitch those things together. So I'm going to jump ahead to maybe one of the solutions, which is generative AI, as an example. And if you think about in every industry, where does the generative AI feature set most resonate with end users? Where does it belong? It's in the industry application, right? I'll give you an example in healthcare. Where do we think generative AI can have a tremendous impact on our healthcare customers and specifically on their providers and the patients they care for? By automating routine tasks. Sometimes the paperwork, for example, to discharge a patient can take hours, and it's a huge tax and burden on the nursing staff. Now, by all indications, we may be short 1 million nurses in the United States by the year 2030, right? This is what some of industry analysts and pundits predict. These are numbers that are out there that you can see. We're not going to solve that gap, but if we can take a 2-hour discharge process and literally get that down to 2 minutes by using generative AI to automate that discharge process, I think these are the type of things that have tremendous utility. But you've got to be able to do that as a service. And if you're just getting infrastructure from a provider, or you're just getting a back office application, not that there aren't AI plays in those things, it's going to be up to the customer to figure out, how do I get that AI feature set, and how do I use the toolkit they're providing into the industry applications. What we're saying is we'll deliver it all as a feature set. No need for you to stitch it all together, and I think that's the big differentiator.
Right.
Now, you may have sort of already answered this, but again, Safra's keynote was all about customer success. What is unique in how we approach this with our industry customers?
Yeah. I think the unique piece is what we call the end-to-end automation, or the end-to-end understanding, meaning that we're willing to take on the entirety of an industry's problem, not just a piece of it, and we're not going to leave any of the knitting and stitching to the customers. We're willing to take it all on. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that the customer has to procure all of it all at once.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily mean to say, well, wow, you've got a solution here, really wide, really deep, horizontal and vertical. I got to have it all tomorrow and I'll just turn it on. But I think the fact that we come in there with an understanding of it, and we come in there with a blueprint to help them on that journey, gives us, and our customers, more importantly, our customers, a unique advantage so that they understand what the journey is going to look like. One of the biggest unforeseen things that go wrong in large-scale implementations is integration cost. Integrating systems together, and it's not only an expensive cost at the time you have to do it, but it also can be an inhibitor to velocity, because when you have a bunch of bespoke integrations, you've got to do what's called regression testing every time you change anything that's connected to that. And it can be an inhibitor to rolling out new technology because you're afraid you might break something that it's integrated with. The fact that we can bundle that as a cloud service, or we can give customers a blueprint to get to public APIs, to use out of the box capabilities rather than bespoke capabilities, I think is a tremendous advantage for our customers, and that I think is the biggest differentiator.
Safra talked with Uber on stage. We're going to talk with them in just a little bit here about the co-innovation that we're doing with some of our customers. Can you talk about our ability and our role in doing that in across these various industries? Yeah,
well, Uber's a terrific example, right? I mean, we started with an OCI conversation with Uber to lift and shift their workloads and to leverage the Oracle Cloud as a core part of their tech infrastructure to run their business. And we go back to the question around the advantage, and we started having discussions with Uber about, hey, we're in the retail business as well. We're in the point of sale business. We're in the merchandising business. A lot of our retailers are certainly interested in delivery, but also really interested in returns. And since you happen to have a network of drivers with very close proximity to many retail points of sale, wouldn't it be cool if we could, instead of returning a product back to and re-inventorying a product back to a central warehouse, take it to a retailer that also happens to sell that same product that could actually put that product back into inventory almost immediately, provided there's nothing wrong with it, things like that. So these are the kind of discussions that, I think really are unique to Oracle, because any of the other hyperscalers that they may have partnered with don't have the merchandising systems, don't have the point of sale systems, and don't have nearly 6,000 retailers as customers throughout the world running mission critical applications.
We're going to switch gears here just a bit. Yesterday, you delivered a very inspiring keynote over at Oracle Health Conference. Can you give us an overview of what's going on with Oracle Health and the progress that we've made in just, the little over a year since we've acquired Cerner? I know you've talked a bit about that with automation and stuff, but what else is there?
Yeah, well, I think in general, our thesis a year ago when we completed the Cerner acquisition was that the healthcare industry was completely underserved by technology vendors. And healthcare had a huge disadvantage in that it was one of the first industries to actually digitize, the first industries to adopt computer technology all the way back in 1965, when some of the first very famous mainframe technologies were used for healthcare. The disadvantage is they got stuck in a technical rut. And if you look at what's happened in the last 10 or 15 years in the healthcare industry, it's largely been a professional services play, meaning it's largely been people tweaking existing old technology, putting maybe some web front ends and web veneers on it, and that really hasn't led to a productivity gain for providers, and it frankly hasn't made it any easier for patients to take their medical record with them, to switch providers and to go through these things. So what we unveiled yesterday was the progress, and I think pretty dramatic progress, that we've been working on for the last year since Cerner's been part of Oracle. And that is quite simply putting together a company like Cerner that has incredible IP in the healthcare industry. I mean, we have 1,500 people in the Cerner organization that have a medical degree, doctors, nurses, physicians. They know this stuff cold. They know what needs to be done. And then taking the best of the Oracle technology, including generative AI, voice recognition, and some of these things. And I think not talking about a little bit of an incremental improvement for healthcare, but talking about something that's completely transformational.
Yeah.
And that's what I think healthcare deserves. It's not about going, as I said yesterday, going from 10 clicks to 7 clicks. I think we can, and I think we demonstrated yesterday, eliminate clicks altogether and make life easier for providers and easier for patients as well.
Again, it's all about our customer, and our customer's patient and so forth. Of everything we've talked about here today, Mike, what excites you most?
Well, it depends on the day. Every day there tends to be a new vertical or something exciting. I guess I'll have to, though, double click on what we're doing in healthcare. We saw yesterday, beyond the P&L, beyond the great business, beyond doing things that are helpful for providers, at the end of the day, it benefits humanity and it benefits human lives. And to be able to have a humble part in empowering something that we believe is a basic human right, which is access to healthcare, I'm not sure you can put a valuation or a price on that. And that's been, for me, certainly the most humbling experience of my career and the biggest privilege that we have. And we continue on that mission.
That's fantastic. Thank you. Very inspiring and very exciting for all of us here at Oracle. Thank you for giving us a great introduction to all the deep dives we're going to do on the industries, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Okay, and now we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be back in just a moment with Uber's Head of Enterprise Business Development, Buck Teal, alongside Oracle's VP of Strategy for Oracle Retail, Pat Bohannon.